Hey everyone. Um, I want to welcome you to a series dedicated to raising your awareness about self-sabotage and its effect on your life, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your results. Self-sabotage is such an interesting topic for me because it's something I work towards mastering every single day. A lot of the information I'm going to share with you comes from this amazing book by Brianna West. So it's this one here. Okay. And a lot of the stuff that I'm going to share with you stems from this book. I strongly suggest that you have a notebook and pen ready because I hope to be triggering things inside of you that make you reflect. So let's dive in. Let's start with this. There's nothing holding you back in life more than yourself. Take a moment and allow that to sink in. Nothing is holding you back from getting everything that you want in life. Nothing is holding you back from achieving your goals. Nothing is holding you back from becoming the person you want to be. There's only one person responsible for holding you back. You. This was a hard pill to swallow when I was finally able to wrap my head around it. My worst enemy is none other than myself. I'm the only one who lacks faith in me. I'm the only one who lacks faith in my abilities. I am the only one who gets in my freaking way. Sucks. Kind of stings a little bit when you think about it. That you're the only one who's stopping you. But with that being said, this also means that I am the only one who can do something about it. Right? So before we dive in, I want to take a look at our stick person. I want you to imagine yourself and everyone else as this stick person because we're all just a stick person. We're all made up of the same matter. And our mind is divided into two parts, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is the thinking mind. It gathers information, it stores it. It's the educated mind. Our subconscious mind is the emotional mind. It makes up our paradigm, which is a collection of our beliefs and our habits. This part of our mind is responsible for the doing. So we've got our conscious mind that does the thinking. We've got our subconscious mind that does the doing. And our subconscious mind is the one that tells our body to do the things. So this piece here is important to know moving forward. And this stick person has helped me in so many ways because when I started looking at myself as the stick person and looking at everyone else as the stick person, it seemed to make things easier. So Brianna West wrote, just as a mountain is formed when two sections of the ground are forced against one another, your mountain will arise out of coexisting by conflicting needs. Your mountain requires you to reconcile two parts of you, the conscious and the unconscious. The part of you that is aware of what you want and the part of you that is not aware of why you are still holding yourself back. So that mountain is created out of the part of you that is aware of what you want and the second piece that is not aware why you're still holding yourself back. And this is where that tension starts, right? So it's like the two pieces of your mind are at war with each other. The thinking mind knows what it wants and what it needs to do. And the subconscious mind is keeping everything status quo because it's safe and it wants to keep it that way. Right? Do you know this feeling? Do you know do you know how that feels in your body? I know I do. Every time I'm thinking of something new, I can feel that tug, I can feel that resistance, and I can feel that mountain coming up, right? Because my conscious mind and my subconscious mind are now in a conflict. They're fighting because the conscious mind is doing the thinking and my subconscious mind is going, "Well, hold on. We don't do that. We like it back here where it's safe." Right? So it's that tug of war. Now, this works well until the moment comes when your conscious mind starts thinking differently, right? That's when that resistance comes up. So when your conscious mind starts thinking differently, starts imagining other possibilities, dreams, and goals, then the subconscious mind, this is where it says, wait a minute, this isn't safe. We're not doing this. Retreat, right? So if you're resonating with this, if you felt this feeling, if you know what this is, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt this tug of war in your mind where you're thinking about something new and it's exciting? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, no, I'm going to stay back here. We're good. And then you're like, yeah, let's go. No, never mind. Right? This is where that mountain comes from. It's from those two pieces. They're colliding, they're creating that mountain. Historically, mountains have been used as metaphors for spiritual awakenings, journeys of personal growth, and of course, insurmountable challenges that seem impossible to overcome when we're standing at the bottom. I always saw a mountain as something huge that was standing in my way of getting what I wanted, or standing in my way of getting where I wanted to go. Not as much of a challenge, but more of a roadblock. So when that mountain came up, I saw it as a stop sign. I felt that resistance, I had that urge, and then I went back to retreat. And that mountain in front of me was my stop sign. It meant I couldn't go any further. But to have a mountain in front of you does not mean that you're fundamentally broken in some way. And this was a repetitive thought that I used to have on a loop, and it was unbroken. Every time I felt sad, every time I felt angry, I felt hurt, irritated, I would apologize to those around me, and I would repeat that I was broken. My apologies were basically, I'm sorry that I got angry. I don't know why I get like that. I'm just broken. Those were my apologies. I believed that everything I was doing or not doing was because I was broken in some way, and I did not know how to fix it. So now to see and understand and remind myself that I'm not broken and I don't need to be fixed is a relief. Just because there's a mountain in front of me that turns out I put there doesn't mean that I'm broken, and it doesn't mean that I need to be fixed in any way. Right? The mountain is often less of a challenge. The mountain is often less a challenge in front of us as it is a problem within us. An unstoppable foundation that might not seem evident on the surface, but it nonetheless shifting almost every part of our lives. So that mountain is actually not there because somebody else put it there. My mountain is all me. I built it. I put it there. And maybe at the foundation of your mountain, you've got your job. Maybe that's what put the mountain there. Relationships. Maybe it's your weight. Maybe the motivation. You're lacking motivation. You don't have the energy. Self-esteem, discontentment, fear, anxiety, money, addiction. These are all pieces that can be placed at the foundation of this mountain, and then you just pile it on, right? I could say that my mountain, I know that that motivation, that lack of energy that was in there, that's in the foundation. The self-esteem, oof, that was not just a rock. That was like a mountain in itself. The fear of doing something new, the anxiety, money, the addiction to my old life, and the comfort. These are all rocks that are found in my mountain. So do you recognize any of these rocks as your foundation? So like I mentioned, I used to view my mountains as roadblocks, as reasons why I couldn't get to the other side. Turns out it was more like an excuse than anything else. That mountain wasn't my stop sign. It was my excuse. I was trying to do something, and this mountain was there, and it was so much easier to look at that stop sign and say, never mind. So it became my excuse. But now that I know that my goal achieved self is on the other side of that mountain, along with the life that I desire, I know that the mountain in front of me is only there to help me grow and show me the way. That's the only reason my mountain is there. I put it there, but I will grow and I will learn as I climb that mountain. So when you arrive at this breaking point, the foot of the mountain, the heat of the fire, the night that finally wakes you, you are at the crux of the breakdown. And if you are willing to do the work, you will find that it is the entryway to the breakthrough you have spent your entire life waiting for. Your old self can no longer sustain the life that you are trying to live. It is time for reinvention and rebirth. Now that sounds a little dramatic, because that's how I read it. But when you're at the bottom of that mountain, you have a decision to make. Are you going to look at it as that stop sign? As the reason that you turn around? The reason that you stop? Or is this the point where you're going to decide that you want what's at the top and what's on the other side more than what you have now? Now, when we get to that bottom of that mountain, our collection of beliefs and habits are heavy when we are getting ready to climb. It's like that top of the mountain seems so far, and with every step forward, we get pulled a little back. So it's just like this little person over here, right? Trying to climb those stairs with this massive ball that weighs a ton. And it contains all of the beliefs about yourself. Maybe it's that you suck, that you can't do it, that you're not worth it. right? Those choke me up because those are part of my past beliefs, the beliefs that I am working every single day at leaving at the bottom of that mountain. And it's heavy moving forward without all of that stuff on my back, right? It makes that mountain seem so much harder. But this is where we start noticing those self-sabotaging behaviors because we are causing resistance by trying to move forward but holding on to the past. We get stuck in the resistance. Right? So think back to that. Excuse me. Think back to that tug of war, right? You're trying to move forward, but the past is keeping you stuck. It's pulling you back. It's that tug of war. So you must release your old self into the fire of your vision and be willing to think in a way you have never even tried before. Oh, my throat. You must mourn the loss of your younger self, the person who has gotten you this far, but who is no longer equipped to carry you forward. You must envision and become one with your future self, the hero of your life that is going to lead you from here. The task in front of you is silent, it's simple, and it's monumental. It is a feat most do not ever get to the point of attempting. You must now learn agility, resilience, and self-understanding. You must change completely, never to be the same again. The mountain that stands in front of you is the calling of your life, your purpose for being here, and your path finally made clear. One day, this mountain will be behind you. But who you become in the process of getting over it will stay with you always. In the end, it is not the mountain that you must master, but yourself. So once you learn to release the old beliefs and the habits, and you become one with your future self, this is when the fun begins. This is when you start to climb. This is when you start to gain momentum. And now you're just cruising. So here are your action steps so that you can take this knowledge and apply it to your life. Because our goal is to apply this knowledge and start moving up that mountain. So I encourage you to open up a page in your journal and ask yourself these questions. Number 1, am I holding myself back from climbing my mountain? And be honest with yourself. What is waiting for me at the top of the mountain? So what are you trying to reach up there? What am I scared of? So what's holding you back? And what am I going to do about it? Next week, join me as we dive deeper into self-sabotage. We will be identifying where these habits are coming from, and you will be encouraged to take an honest look at the root of these habits. It'll be fun. If you're not yet working with one of the amazing Pursuit Institute coaches, scan this QR code, book your free connection call with me Let's connect and chat about how we can get you moving towards the top of your mountain. See you next week.